Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is Joe Nicasio, your business coach. And today I wanted to talk a little bit more about this topic that poverty ends in the mirror, and also prosperity begins in the mirror. Okay. Poverty ends in the mirror and prosperity begins in the mirror. So, what do I mean by that? I mean that if we're in a situation where we're not grateful, we're not happy with the results we're getting at the cash register, if we're not making enough money, if we feel we're at a poverty level versus a middle income out level or a prosperity level, okay, the first thing is just making the decision, that you're going to make a change. You can't blame the government, you can't blame the country you were born in, you can't blame, there's all kinds of things you could blame. But that doesn't solve your poverty. Poverty happens when you stop blaming everyone else and you look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm the one that can change this. No one else can change this. The committee for prosperity for Joe Nicasio is right here in the mirror. It's Joe Nicasio. And whatever your name is, the answer for that. But here's one of the things that will not give you prosperity. This idea of an affirmation. I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to make $1 million. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. That's not good enough. So I want to share with you an insight. How prosperity begins in the mirror. And so I'm going to change my screen here, and we're going to look at this idea that first of all, I believe that children are born as geniuses and then conditioned into mediocrity. Okay, you were born as a genius. You're a child of God. God doesn't make junk. He gave you skills and abilities and talents and gifts. Okay, and your gifts are different than my gifts. We all have different gifts, but we're all children of God, and children are born as geniuses and then conditioned into mediocrity. And if you don't believe this true, humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking more of others. We all have some kind of magic in us. We have some kind of gifts. We're children of God. God doesn't make junk. So children are born as geniuses, then conditioned into mediocrity. So again, what we're really talking about here, how poverty ends in the mirror and prosperity begins in the mirror. So children are born as geniuses, conditioned into mediocrity. So from the day we're born, everybody tells us what to think. Our parents tell us what to think. The government tells us what to think. Sesame Street, Disney, politicians, religious leaders, everybody tells us what to think. And what happens as a result of that is we become multifaceted creatures. Okay? So we have many aspects to our personality. This is actually a good thing. It's called diversity. We have all these different aspects. So, if poverty ends in the mirror, where does prosperity begin? Prosperity begins when you make a decision. It's like, I have all these parts of my personality, but they're scattered. They're not focused in the marketplace. So if you show up as focused versus scattered, you don't have as much value. Okay. So when we say prosperity begins in the mirror, it means, how am I going to take my mentor, Jay Abraham, wrote a book, How to Get Everything You Want by Using Everything You Got. So you got all this stuff that you got, but it's not organized. So when we say prosperity begins in the mirror, it's going to say, you know what, I'm going to take the scattered person that I am. I'm going to figure out what's my one thing that I love doing. What if I took everything I had and organized it to really impact lives positively for the better? What would happen is, that's what's called value. We become more valuable. And so when we give more value, people say, you know what? I see what they're doing. They're not scattered. They're focused, and they're focused in a way that's going to help me improve my life. I want that. I will pay money for that. And so when we say prosperity begins in the mirror, it's not by chanting, I want to receive $1 million. When we say, prosperity begins in the mirror, it's about really taking inventory of the blessings that you have. You have blessings. You are a child of God. The problem is they're not organized. So when we say poverty ends in the mirror, and say, I'm not going to be scattered anymore. Prosperity begins in the mirror. We say, I'm going to organize everything I got to do something powerful to really improve the lives of other human beings. Okay. And when we do that, you know, we can start receiving the money. Giving is better than receiving because giving starts the receiving process. So how do we do this? Well, this is my masterpiece. This is the lens of taking. Let's take scattered you, turn you into focused you, and get you making money. This is my creation, the business happiness blueprint. And right now, I don't even want to talk about all 9 pieces on this. Just look at that top left corner. It's called Choose Your Business Wisely. Okay. This is about, taking the time to figure out how can we, you got all these interests. If you show up and say, I have people like, what business are you in? Well, I have 5 businesses. I'm immediately confused and I don't want to buy from them because the confused mind buys nothing. Write that down. The confused mind buys nothing. Okay. And so if you show up saying I do 5 businesses, you're really like messing yourself up. You're not going to make much money. So choosing your business wisely is about taking inventory about what you're doing and organizing it into one powerful thing so that you can add value to other people's lives so you can receive money. You'll notice that the giving starts the receiving process. You don't just say, I want to make $1 million. I want to receive 1 million. You don't, the giving and receiving are connected. If you want to receive a lot, you got to learn to give a lot. And so, that's my fundamental message today is it's really about, let me get you back to my fundamental message today is, look, poverty ends in the mirror when you say, I'm going to stop being scattered and I'm going to start organizing, giving more value. And I'm going to give, we live in a world of problems. There's not a shortage of problems. And there's 2 kinds of problems. The problems people will pay you to solve and the ones they won't pay you to solve. And so we need to figure out, how do we organize you into a business so that you can give generously and receive. I'm a generous giver and an excellent receiver. You want to become that excellent receiver by being that generous giver and organizing what you're doing. Okay. And you'll see, I'm doing a program it's an 8-week program. It's crazy. Maybe I shouldn't do it this long, but we're spending 8 weeks to help you figure out what's the right business for you. It's called Business Wisdom Quest. And scrolling on the screen here at the bottom, it says businesswisdomquest.com. If you're interested, you can find out the details about it. It is my most affordable program. And it's really all about helping you figure out, how do you choose your business wisely? What's the right business for you? What's your North Star business? Like if you're not happy with your career, you're not happy with your business, let's hit the reset button. This program is hitting the reset button and really doing a deep dive exploration about, what do you want to be when you grow up? What's the business that you want to do where you wake up every day saying, I love what I do. I'm good at what I'm doing. And wow, I even get paid for doing it. So if you have any questions, just send me a message, private message. I'm here to help you build a better business. I help people build businesses all day, but before we can build your business, we got to figure out what's the right business for you. And for most people, that's deeply personal. It's deeply personal because your dream business is different than the next person's dream business, which is different than the next person's. I'm doing my dream business and I've helped a lot of clients hit their dream business. And I like to help you create your dream business as well. If you'd like my help, reach out to me. Send me a private message. I'd love to help. This is Joe Nicasio, your business coach, employeeescapeplan.com and businesswisdomquest.com.